Matt, you're an accomplished swimmer here at St. John's, and congratulations on the Hall of Honor. Winning the 53, the national championship. Take us back to that moment. What did it feel like?
It was such an amazing culmination to the career I had at St. John's. I had been so close a couple of years. My freshman year, I got second, and I got second and third a couple other times. But to achieve that kind of pinnacle as an NCAA athlete my senior year was fantastic. And it kind of it started off when, and I'll never forget this, a phone call that Pat Haas and I, when I made the decision to come to St. John's, and I called Pat Haas. We shared the excitement. I think Pat said, "Hold on a second," when I told him I was coming to St. John's, and I could hear him scream in the background. And I basically wanted to do the same thing. But between that call and my senior year, the national championship, so many experiences, the team, every aspect of it. That moment to be able to stand up on the podium and represent St. John's. And everything that, led to that moment. It was just a cool pinnacle culmination to the entire career.
And you had a pretty big moment later on, too, the Tonight Show, and that, talk about that and how that is probably a pretty nice memory overall.
I would say that as it's a fantastic memory because it's part of St. John's in my career and every aspect of it. But for those of you that don't know, I'll remember a couple things, and this will give you a good indication of the whole event. A couple things I'll never forget. One was when the gun went off and I dove into the water. This was a big meet. This was at St. John's at our home pool. It was an invitational. We had swimmers from the whole Midwest there. And so I wanted to win the race. I hit the water, and I'll never forget the feeling of my suit ballooning up with water and ripping down to my knees. And the moment I was like, I'm 100% naked in front of hundreds of people, and at that moment I was like, oh, my grandma's up there watching this. This will be an interesting experience. But it was the 100-yard butterfly, and couldn't have been any other stroke. You guys get that?
Yeah, a little embarrassing, maybe.
A little bit. But the butterfly, you breathe above the water. So the coolest thing is I could actually, hear the crowd and see my teammates at the end of the lanes on both ends. And it was a 100-yard butterfly, so it's 4 lengths. So I actually swam around my suit 3 times as I went back and forth. But to make long story short, it was such a cool experience to hear the crowd. I ended up winning the race completely naked, but I got disqualified because of a uniform code violation.
Seriously?
Yeah, which we're still appealing. We'll see now. But I do remember a couple days later, I got a message from Pat to come down to see him in his office, and he's like, "You'll never believe this. I just got off the phone with the Tonight Show, Jay Leno." And they flew my brother and I out there. We had a chance to experience that. A couple of my teammates actually road tripped from Minnesota all the way out to Hollywood to be in the stands. But it was surreal to be, a Midwestern athlete from St. John's, to be on this big stage and get to experience that, all because I swam naked and won the race. But it was pretty cool.
Sometimes greatness is thrust upon you.
Agreed. Now, I'm sure there's a life lesson about keeping going in adversity, but no, it was just a great time. Yeah.
Who else was in the green room that night? Do you remember?
I do. So from a teammate standpoint, I think Jesse Bergman was there, Jeremy Hoagland, my brother was in the room, and it was such a crazy moment to be sitting there, and we get a knock on the door, and in walks, Jay Leno. And you're this. I'm such a naive kid from the Midwest sitting there, and Jay Leno walks in, and a couple things hit me. One was he's pretty short. I didn't realize he was that short. But 2 was he was so nice. We sat down, we talked. He just kind of broke the tension, made me feel comfortable, and it kind of transitioned into we just had a great time in the show, going back and forth. And so it was fun to be in the green room, fun to experience that whole thing, and just the whole bit of it was fantastic.
Well, that event is also a part of the hallway. I'm sure you've been up to see this. I mean, it's there forever now, right?
Yep, it's kind of cool. So those of you that want to see it, I'm on the wall in the Palestra holding up the suit, a mural holding up the suit that I lost, while I'm sitting on the stage with Jay Leno. It's a neat memory for sure. And I just want to say thank you for not representing the fact that I was up on the podium with a championship. No. You guys put the fact that I was on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno as a mural, which is fine. Yeah.
Whose call was that? Anybody know? It might have been Adam Herbst's call.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Hey, one thing I do want to say, just they a couple people have referenced this. It is such an honor to be part of this inductee class. And they talk about swimming as an individual sport, and you definitely get out of it what you as an individual put in, but any athlete that achieves success, it's a culmination of so many people that helped along the way. So St. John's provided such an amazing community to the coaching, Pat Haas, to my family, who's in the room and upstairs. I appreciate every aspect of this. It's an honor to be a part of the class that's in here, and so thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Congratulations. Matt Zelen into the Hall of Honor.